Alright, so we're going to be taking a look at the Gothic noun declensions, specifically here the A-Declension, pure A stems, and we're going to be using an example of 5 words: himins, heaven, dogs, day, huns, dog, theodons, king, fisks, fish, and these are going to be given in all their forms, from the nominative, accusative, dative, and genitive in the singular, and then in that same order in the plural, accompanied by their definite article. And for the masculine, that's sa, in the nominative singular. Alright, starting out, we have himins, heaven, and as this is the first example, I'm going to provide a translation with each of the declensions for each case. So, sa himins is the heaven, thana himin is the heaven, thama himina is to the heaven, this himinis is of the heaven, or the heavens, not plural, but possessive, so like the heavens, clouds, or angels. So thai himinos, the heavens, thans himinans, the heavens, thaim himinam, to the heavens, thise himine, of the heavens. There are multiple translations that are possible based on some of these. You'll notice that for the nominative and the accusative, both singular and plural, it's simply the heaven, or the heavens, the heavens. In Gothic, however, there is a distinction, as the accusative, in this case thana or thans, is the object case. So that's something that's being acted upon. For example, if you were to see something, that would be in the accusative, whereas the nominative, singular is sa, thai is plural. You have the subject or the dictionary form in the case of the singular. Alright, so now we have dox, day in English. Sa dox, thanadag, thamadaga, this dagis, thai dagos, thans dagans, thaim dagam, thise dage. Alright, so now we have huns, dog. For the singular, we have sahuns, thanahund, thamahunda, this hundis. For the plural, thai hundos, thans hundans, thaim hundam, thise hunde. Alright, so now we have theudans, king, sa theudans, thana theudan, thama theudana, this theudanis, thai theudanos, thans theudans, thaim theudam, thise theudane. And a side note for the pronunciation, the D in the middle in Gothic, when between vowels, is actually pronounced as a voiced thorn at the beginning. If you're not familiar with this letter, is a th sound like in English th and think, and it used to have its own letter in English. It still does in Icelandic, and that letter is also used for Gothic transliteration. The eth, however, which is the voiced form, th, as in that, does not have its own letter in Gothic, or is not transcribed with it typically, but the D does take that pronunciation when between vowels, so it's a little bit of a side note. Now we're going to take a look at fisks. For the singular, we have sa fisks, thana fisk, thama fiska, this fiskis. For the plural, we have thai fiskos, thans fiskans, thaim fiskam, thise fiske. Alright, so a quick summary of the case endings here for the nouns of this class. So for the nominative singular, we have s, that's in all of them, himins, dogs, huns. That indicates that it is the subject of the sentence, that it is in the singular. And in the case of the plural, however, we would drop that s and add an os, and that o on it will have a lengthener, a macron, typically. Some texts might add the little like hat like you would see in Portuguese or in French that shows that the vowel is lengthened. Typically, though, the macron is used, what you would see in Latin, that long little line over a vowel. And so you wouldn't say os, you would say os. For the accusative singular, however, we simply drop the s and add nothing. And for the accusative, it's basically the object case. So, I see him, not I see he. So he would be the subject, him the object. For the plural of the accusative, we'd drop the s and add a and s. For the dative, however, we drop the s and add a. And then for the plural of the dative, we drop the s and add am. The dative means can be also a locative in this case, where something is, and is typically where is the indirect object. Like I give something to him. The to him in English would be the dative relation, so you would add to to that. For the genitive singular, however, we drop the s and add is, and for the plural of the genitive, however, we drop the s and add an a, again with a macron. And it helps to learn the definite article with these, even though they're not always used. I use them in this video for the purpose of showing primarily the relation. For example, you see with sa is the nominative singular of the masculine article, and you notice that it ends in that the masculine ending in the singular for the nominative is s, so sadox, thanadak, but thamadaga. So you'll notice that actually matches, right? Thama daga, this dagis, thydagos, thans dagans, so thans ans, thym dagam, I'm thise dage, a. So it helps to know these since it kind of matches up, not entirely, but in general. So it's kind of similar to Latin, like amicus meos, where there's a kind of an agreement. So it kind of makes it a little bit of a nicer sound in Gothic. All right, so in closing, we're going to go over a few pieces of vocabulary. I'm not going to decline these. I'm going to leave that up to you guys. I'm simply going to pronounce them and give their translation with them, and maybe remind you on the declension real quick. So steins, stone, you can see that's kind of related. Wigs, way, again, probably related. Vogels, bird, that would be closer to the German, actually, Vogel. Bagams, tree, similar to German Baum. Winds, wind. You can see these are very, very similar in a lot of these words. That probably owes to the common origin of English and Gothic. So as you can see here with all of these, again, they all end in S. That is because they are part of the same declension that we just went over. So in the case of steins, if you wanted to make it, say, plural accusative, you'd simply drop the S and add ans, so steinans. Vogels, if you wanted to make it, let's say, dative singular, you would drop the S and then add a, fugla. So if you want to try to learn the patterns of this class or of any of the Gothic vocabulary in general, this is a good chance to practice these. So thanks for watching.